Hey everybody, welcome back to a new making podcast. Let's unwind together. Grab yourself a cold refreshing drink. I have some rhubarb sparkling water mix, a Schorle as they call it in German. And it's very delicious. So today I have some finished objects, as you can already see. I started a new project. I do have a few acquisitions, but I don't have any sewing today. But I did just buy a sewing pattern and I'm going to be ordering fabric for that. So in the next video, there will be more sewing, but for today, it's just knitting. So let's get right into it. As you can see, I finished my Roma vest by Mochi Knits, and I am really glad to have this off the needles. I feel like I was working on it for quite some time, because I started it and then I ran out of yarn and then I did like a whole nother project in between, and now I finally finished it because I got more yarn. I do really like it. I'm using a summer yarn, which I'll talk more about later, but it's not like the most easy pattern, you know, because it's a textured knit, slip stitches, a double knit button band and everything. But this is such a nice project to have because it's a very easy to wear top, wide shoulders. I can just throw it on top of anything. I don't really have to plan out what I'm going to be wearing underneath my knitwear when I wear this, which is exactly what I wanted. I wanted something wide and like bra friendly. And I'll also put in a picture here of my inspiration because I saved a picture on Pinterest where there was like a green knitwear, like a green textured button vest or something. That was kind of my inspiration, which I will say, unfortunately, it's a different green than what I was going for. This is definitely more sage. What I wanted was a bit darker, like my walls. As you can tell, I do really like green, but I am still really happy about it, and I would make this again. I probably would make a wool version. She uses a fingering yarn and a mohair together, and I think that would be really nice. I don't have any button up vests. I have a slip over, which I do wear quite a bit in the winter. It's alpaca and like a cabled one. I did have just a plain v-neck vest. I think it was a Petitknit Stockholm v-neck vest. But without the buttons, I don't know, it wasn't my thing, and I ended up taking it apart. Maybe I should make another one of those. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Anyways, I think I would make another one of these in like a bright color, like a little red moment. That would be fun. But I do really like it. Now let's talk about the yarn. I used Drops Belle, which is 33% linen, 33% cotton, 33% viscose. And I use the color 10, which is the moss green color, and I believe they recommend a size 4 millimeter needle. For the pattern, I believe they recommended for the main slip stitch 4.5 millimeter, which I did do a gauge swatch. That's like one of the rare times I have done a gauge swatch, and it was a little gapey, and so I sized down my needle to a 4, and the fabric came out a lot nicer. Like, I'm very pleased with this. Yeah. The only thing I will say is that this is a little heavy. Like, it's not a very thin, lightweight. Obviously, because of the slip stitching, there's just more fabric. So I would almost consider just reusing this exact pattern and just leaving out the slip stitches and just do normal stitches. I think that would also be quite nice if I was to make another like summer one. But this is also a really good transition piece. And, you know, I was excited to try a new summer yarn. Yeah, for this project, and it worked out really great. I believe I first ordered 4 balls of yarn, and I'm not sure where I got that number from, why I ordered 4 balls. I can't remember. My math was off though, because then I ended up ordering 2 more balls of wool and I used up almost all of it. So this is 6, so this is 300 grams almost, just in this little vest. Yeah, I guess just because the slip stitching took up a lot more yarn than usual. And for this pattern, I have worn it a few times already. We just got out of like the craziest heat wave here in Germany. It was so unbearably hot that I wasn't wearing anything. Like, I had to work and my workplace had no AC, but we were able to keep it pretty cool. And then at home, like, I was just wearing a sports bra run. I couldn't handle anything else. So since then, I haven't really had much wear out of it, but I am planning on, you know, obviously when it cools down a little bit more, then it'll be nicer. And I think especially in the fall, this is going to be really nice. So that's that. Everything else I did according to the pattern. And one thing especially that I like is like how she connects the collar, because you're knitting your pieces going up and then you kind of do like a few rows where it's just the ribbing to kind of make a little bit of an edge for it to naturally fold over better. And then you use a crochet hook. I did not have the correct size for a crochet hook, and it was very challenging. So definitely if I make this again, I am going to invest the few euros in getting a smaller crochet hook, because mine was way too big, and like getting it into all the little spots was really difficult. And I think it was just worse because it was a summer yarn, like a plant-based yarn, and so it had like no give to it at all. But we managed, we survived. The other thing is my buttons, which I can't tell if, I took my glasses off so they don't glare. I don't think that you can really notice any difference in them, but I do believe they are slightly different. I think one of them, yeah, this is a bit more green. This is a bit more brown. I picked these out from a Tupperware that was left in our house by the previous owner. And there was just like, there's hundreds of buttons in there. And so I picked out ones that matched. And then after picking them all out, then I realized, oh, they're not like a perfect match from the color. So then I just alternated them, and I don't think you can tell really, unless you're really looking close. But that's fine. That's my quirky little add to my handmade vest. Anyways, so then I finished this, and I already had, because I ordered the wool for this, then I also ordered some other wool for a couple other projects. But first, before we get into acquisitions, I got to tell you about my other whip that I have going. And that is my Dagmar zipper sweater for my husband, which I have started knitting in the round, which is very exciting. And it's looking great. This is just so fun to work on. Like, I really enjoy cabling lately. Yeah, so this, I haven't worked on it that much. Like, I think when we were last talking, I think I was maybe even finished like both of the front shoulder panels, and then I had to like connect them. So really I haven't done a crazy amount on this, but it is bigger needles than all of my summer projects, so it feels like it's going by a lot faster. And it's very potato chippy because I'm just so excited to get further in the pattern, and it's just very satisfactory, a very satisfactory project. What size am I making? I don't know. I'm kind of going in between sizes. I must be making around like a large to extra large, I believe. At first I was making the same size as my zipper Dagmar sweater, which I made last year. And then I ended up just increasing, like with the moss stitch, just a few more. Just to give him a little more snuggle room. And then before joining in the round, I had him try it on. Like, it's not blocked or anything, but I did just want to see how it was looking on him and like how the sizing was. And then we both decided, instead of I can't remember how many stitches on the underarms, instead of like 2, then I did 4. I just did a few more just to be safe, which in the end, you know, adding a few more, I feel like doesn't really have any downsides. Like, even if it ends up being like pretty oversized, that's fine. I would rather it be oversized than too small. So that's that. I am currently on my 3rd skein. I have 9 of them in total, so I have 6 more, which I'm really hoping is going to be enough. I'm going to finish knitting the body, or I'm going to finish knitting this skein into the body, and then with the next skein that I have, that I start, then I will do the whole collar and zipper situation. And then after that, I think I'm going to go directly into the sleeves, make sure the sleeves are the right length for him. And then I'll just work everything else into the body, and we'll get as long as we can get. I mean, yeah. And hopefully, I'm really hoping I have enough, because this is yarn that I bought in Canada and I can't really access that here in Europe anymore. Fingers crossed. But I only just started the 3rd ball not that long ago. Oh, you can kind of see my tails coming out here. Beep, beep, beep. So obviously knitting in the round, I haven't done that much on this ball, and I've done maybe a couple inches of the front panel. So that's it. I think that's fine. I think then with the body, I'm gonna get pretty far in the body with just this one ball. And then if I count like almost a ball, almost a skein for the neck, maybe 3 skeins for the arms, then I'm at 7, and then I have 2 more for the body. I hope that's enough. If not, then whatever. It'll just be a little shorter. That's fine. Wow, I can't believe it's like I started filming this at 8 o'clock and it's still bright out. It's so nice. I just love summer when it's not 40 degrees. So now to my new whip, which I started. This is my priority whip because it's another summer project and we're in summer right now. And when it's really, really hot, I don't super enjoy having a woolly project in my lap. So I cast this on maybe 2 weeks ago, right after I finished my Roma vest. And I'm actually impressed with how far it's gotten. So here is my Cumulus top, V-neck, Cumulus blouse, Cumulus tee. This is the first time making one of these. It's kind of been on my list for a really long time, and there was a time where I was debating between this and a different Petiteknit t-shirt. I ended up getting the other one. Kind of wish I just got this from the start because it just looks so nice, and it's very casual looking, but it still just looks good. And I love this color. It looks, well, actually, on camera it looks quite pink, but really it is pink in reality. So, very nice. I am knitting it totally to pattern. I believe I'm making the 3rd size. I always make the 3rd size for Petiteknit patterns. And this is one of the first times, well, not the first time, but like this is a rare time where I am using the recommended yarn. So I got myself the Sandnes garn Tynn, which has been a pleasure to work with. I'm using the color that is Danish. I believe the color is 4335 Raspberry Cream. And it's so nice and light to the touch, and I really enjoy knitting it, especially now, because it's just so lightweight, and I'm so excited to have this ready so that I can wear it. And I think that's probably why I'm knitting on it so much and getting through it quite quickly, because I'm just so excited to like actually get it off the needles and onto myself. The only thing about knitting with this yarn is that it is a little splitty. There's the 3 strands, because this is like the same composition as, oh no, actually it's a little bit more cotton than the Drops Belle. This one is 53 cotton, 33 viscose, 14 linen, 50 grams, 220 meters. And the 3 pieces are kind of woven together like a normal, like 3-ply wool, like whatever ply of wool, that's how it's knit together. And with the Drops yarn, they were also woven together, but kind of like mixed together a little bit, so you couldn't unweave the 3 different strands. And on the line, on the Tynn line, at least, I don't know what the line is like, they are separate and then kind of twisted together like a normal wool yarn is. And so I guess the only difference is with that and a wool yarn is this, you do have to be a little bit more careful that you're actually grabbing all 3 of the strands. So it's not a super mindless knit. I've heard other people talking about that as well, that you do kind of have to have one eye on your project to make sure that you're not dropping any parts of the stitch, which I have done a couple times, and then I only notice like after I've knit for a while. And if it's like within a few rows, then I'll just like go back and connect that piece again, or like grab it. But some of them are like in the middle of my project, and then whatever. It's not that noticeable, like I can hardly notice it, and when, then usually just on the inside, or like I'll just pull that one piece kind of to the inside, and then you can't really see it at all. So that's fine. But just something to keep in mind, it's not like a super brainless yarn, a brainless knit yarn. But I do really love it, and I am definitely going to use it again because it's just so nice and light. Yeah, and I'm knitting this all on a 3mm needle as the pattern suggests and as the yarn suggests. And I'm almost done my second ball. Ooh, I only have this much left. So I'll be done that tonight for sure. And look how far I've gotten already. Like, I mean, obviously it's gonna sit a bit higher on my shoulders. And I have 2 more full balls. So I'll probably have some leftovers. We'll see. I mean, I'm playing yarn chicken with one project, and then I have a lot of yarn with another. So when I'm done this skein, then I'm gonna pick up the I-cord. I believe it's an I-cord. I'm gonna knit the neckline, and then I'm gonna finish the sleeves, and then I'll just do the body however I want. That's kind of my method, or that has been my method for almost every sweater now. I knit until I join in the round on the body, or like back and forth on the body, and then I just finish off whatever ball that I'm working on, and then instead of joining in a new skein onto the body, then I do the neckband. And kind of depending, sometimes then I will do the sleeves and then finish the body. Other times I'll finish the body and then do the sleeves, kind of depending. Like on the Dagmar zipper, I'm gonna do the sleeves first because for my husband that's the most important, is that the sleeves actually fit him. For this, because it's a short sleeve and it's already got like cap sleeves on it, it's not going to be much work to just finish those off. Yeah, very excited about that. I'm very excited to wear it because I think even when it's hot, I will be able to wear it. Not like this one where it's a little thicker. Yeah, so I have 2 more balls of the Tynn. And then I did order another skein of yarn, which I shouldn't have, but whatever. This has a plan though. This already has a project in mind. I got this beautiful rusty wool. Such a nice color. Very, very fall. This just screams autumn. And I got this so that I could make myself a fall accessory, and then it's going to be ready for fall. So I'm not making it during the fall time. I'll make it in the summer, ready for fall. This is the BC Garn Bio Shetland, which is 100% wool, 2-ply fine yarn, 180 meters to 50 grams. It says 2.5 needles up to a 4, which I'm curious to see what that would look like knitted as a 4. Maybe it just blooms a lot by itself. And I have the color 53, and oh, it's so nice. Like, it really does just look like it has all the fall colors in it, like all of the foliage. And I'm gonna make myself a scarf for fall. Yeah. And my plan was actually, I want to finish this before September, and then in September I can take it with us. I can take it with me to Scotland, and this will be my scarf to wear in Scotland in the fall time because we're doing a fall trip, and I'm very, very excited. So that's all I have for physical acquisitions, although I did order or I purchased a sewing pattern, the Pacific pants. Oh, I gotta look it up. I can't remember the name anymore. All right, so it's a pattern. Looks like it's a collaboration with Laura Handmade and Alyssa something. I'll put it on the screen, but it's called the Pacific pant, and it just looks like a really great casual pant pattern. And I've seen some people add zippers, some people just have drawstring, and I'm just really into it. And I want to make some pants. I feel like I want to get really good at making those pants. And I mean, I also need to get better at making the cedar pants. I need to remake my cedar pants. from Leah Makes. But these pair, I do want to make some really summery, like cotton linen pants for me and my husband. I mean, this is exactly what I said a year ago when I got the cedar pants pattern. But I think this is a bit more fitted for like a summery yarn, linen, cotton pant. Nonetheless, we'll see. You will see. Hold me accountable. We will have a pair of pants next week, or next podcast. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking around. Share in the comments whatever you're working on, whatever project, and I'll see you later. Catch you later. Bye.